Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a short playthrough of a new game that just arrived on my door called Set a Watch by Rock Manor Games. It's a game by Todd Walsh, and it's really quite clever. And I just got a couple more setup things to do before we get started. But in this game, we're a party of four adventurers. We're traveling from place to place, and in those locations, we're setting up a camp. We have to defend the camp and then defeat the monsters that come to attack us there on our way to try to get to and destroy the Forbidden Tower. And the realm is overrun, and we're the mighty adventurers that are going to go and stop it. I have selected for the adventurers to play on this session. There are some other ones to play. I'll briefly touch on those. And I'm going to go through gameplay as we play, but I will finish some setup stuff with you guys because this magnetic lid box is in fact the game board. So we're going to spin that right around here. You can see that we have this thing that says unused locations in the Horde. We'll get to that in a moment. And this is our camp right here. And within that, there's going to be a number of things that we have to do to set up. We're going to do the setup real quickly and just get that done. I think one of the first things that we'll do just to make it easier is to understand the campfire is a very important thing. And in the basic game, when you're playing just with the standard rule set, we're going to start by putting the campfire. Let's see, I think it's on 7 if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to double check it. Yeah, we're going to put this on the 7 space right here. That means our campfire is burning bright. And then again, this board is neat because it's very compact, but it has a lot of stuff, right? And there's a number of things we can do on this board while we're in camp. Now, one character is always tending the camp while the other ones are sitting there at their watch. They're at watch and they're defending the realm, the area against the monsters that are coming at us. And we're going to have 4 specific heroes. In this case, I selected the Wizard, the Cleric, the Warrior, and the Beastmaster to see how we could play with those. I just thought they were interesting. Got the tropes, the Warrior, the Cleric, and the Wizard, and I decided to go with the oddballs, the debate between the Beastmaster and the Bard. And I ended up going with the Beastmaster. But we still have to set some things up. So here is a rather large deck of location cards. And we're going to go through 9 locations before we get to the last one, which is the Forbidden Tower. And it says exhausting ability cards to keep firewood from reaching 0. Count for 1 extra firewood. That's the last place we're going to be. And there's some really nasty stuff there. But in the meantime, I got to shuffle all these up. We're going to basically get 8 of those out. And then the Forbidden Tower card will go on the bottom. Now, that doesn't mean that all the rest just get unused and go away, but there's some interesting mechanics around that. We could scout, and there's 2 types of scouting. There's one scouting the monster deck and one where we're scouting ahead to see where we're going, where we actually get to influence that ability. And I think the Wizard in this case has some ability to do that and see where we're heading next. He can teleport us, I believe. But there's also some other ways to do that too. And we'll get to that as we play. I'm just basically giving this as good a shuffle as I can. And then what we're going to do is we'll pick 1. Just flip it around. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. And now the rest of these shuffled up cards, we're not going to look at them. We're going to place them in the unused location part up in the top of the lid. Now you can barely see them, but they're there. Now we're going to take these ones. They've already been done up, and we're going to take the tower, the Forbidden Tower, and we're going to put that on the bottom, and those are going right here. And as we reveal them, we'll be putting them over there. But we're not done yet. We have some other things we have to do. Right here we have the various monster decks, and you can tell those by the backs that there are on them. And again, I'm going to start shuffling this while I'm talking. You also have these guys, the Unhallowed. They're basically the tougher monsters. They're really, really nasty. And we're going to shuffle those up too, because one of those is going to immediately go in the Horde, which is in the top of the box. And that's going to be the things that we have to fight in the end, in addition to the tower that we're, the Forbidden Tower that we have to go to. So yeah, and this needs to be shuffled up really good because we're going to be drawing from this quite a bit. And yeah, it's going to be really cool. And then we're going to be playing what's called a normal game. So we're going to have 2 of these cards, these summon cards. They all do the same thing, but they're going to, oh wait, they don't all do the same thing. They're close. So we're going to shuffle 2 of those up, put one in the top half of the, roughly top half of the deck, and the other one in the second half of the draw deck. So like, there's not very many, but that's okay because we are going to end up going through the deck, I'm sure. Now, those shuffled. These are still shuffling up. We're just going to get those done, and then we have to shuffle these bigger unhallowed critters up as well. Now, interesting thing is we're going to know what unhallowed monster is coming, except for the one that's in the horde, and that's why I wanted to shuffle this up and give this a nice, good, quick shuffle, because we're going to take one of these and put it up here in the horde section. The rest of them, we're going to flip it face up, so we know that the next one's going to come out as the Wraith Lord. It says when he's defeated, you have to exhaust an adventure card. I'll show it. That doesn't mean anything to you now, but it will. And so that sets us up with our Unhallowed. Now, the reason how we get those Unhallowed are from these summoning cards. And again, we're going to be playing with 2 of these, which means we're playing a normal game. And those are the 2 we're going to play with right there. I will set the rest aside. They will not be in the game unless they're called for. And then we're going to set up the monster deck real quick. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to randomly select 30 creatures out of this deck. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'll show you what we'll do as a next step. You don't need to see me counting out 30 cards. Okay, I got 2 stacks of evenly divided cards, 15 in each pile. Both of them, or one of them, they have 2 acolytes in it. You're going to make sure you get the acolytes in there. They're going to take these 2 summon cards at random and put them into the deck and shuffle them again. So this is going to be the bottom part of our deck, and then the other one will be the top part. So this will be the bottom, and we're just going to set that right here. Then we're going to take this card, this summons card, put that on here, shuffle it up again, and that's going to make up our encounter deck right there. Okay, now we're going to get on to our players. We got a couple things to do, and I'll show you what that looks like. So our first 2 characters are going to be the Beastmaster and the Cleric. Now these are their dice. Now you notice that the Cleric has 3d6. They're right here. Beastmaster has 3d8. They are right here. And that's pretty awesome. So I hope I rolled that a whole bunch of times. But anyway, the next thing we have to do is we have to divide up, and I'm going to try and do this without looking at them. I need to pull 3 out in order and put them on their board. I'll just know that I'm going to cover them. Well, it's hard to do. Anyway, this one's going to be there. I'll shuffle it again, draw from the bottom. This one will be here, and then the third one, this one, will go here. Exhausted. Now, what does that mean? Exhausted is kind of like their hit points. So when they exhaust their abilities, they don't get to use it until they've unexhausted it. There's a couple ways that things get exhausted. Most of it's by monsters, and the other part of it is when they double use them. Like if I use this, I can use it again or use it immediately without using a die to exhaust a power. Now, what do these powers do? Well, this is the Beastmaster. So what are his things? Set snares. You can put a revealed creature back on top of the creature deck. Okay, that's not too bad. Tracking. It's a passive. Once per round, you may tame a forest creature in the first position. And then Hunt, which is now currently exhausted. It says tame a forest creature in the graveyard. You may use this creature as an attack die. That's pretty cool. And then when he is at camp, you know this little camp symbol right here, it says set trap. At the start of the watch phase, assign this die directly as direct damage to a creature in the first position. Prevent all first position powers from activating until an adventurer on watch takes an action. So that's pretty good too. That's the Beastmaster. Now there's 2 more abilities. He can swap those out in the camp when he's camping, when he's the one camping. But we'll see how that plays out. Now we got to do the Cleric. I got to do the same thing for the Cleric. We're gonna do this and try and shuffle them up. I'm trying not to look, and then we're gonna get okay. So the first one's gonna be Blinding Light. It says reveal up to 2 creatures and negating any reveal abilities. That's pretty powerful. And we got Rebuke. It says move a revealed creature back to the different position in the line or defeat an undead in the first position. And then I'm going to shuffle these up and then take the last one. It is Protective Ward. It's passive. Once per round, let a creature in the first position into the horde without taking any damage from it. So that's good, but that's going to come in as a exhausted card. Now we got 2 more. We're here. We have the Wizard and the Warrior. I have the Wizard's abilities right here. And let's see what we get. We're going to get Polymorph. It says swap out a creature for any other creature in the graveyard. It's his first power, then his second power. And I didn't go over the Cleric's ability. It's a healing thing when he's at camp. We'll see how that works later. Then we got Chaos Blast. Defeat 2 revealed adjacent creatures and add a new creature to the end of the line. That's pretty good. And then we'll do this third one here. And that is a shock bolt to defeat a creature with 8 or less health. That just automatically knocks it out. So if I could put a 1 die there and defeat a creature with that health. And then this other 2, illuminate and curse, go to the side. And we have to, oh, and his abilities, teleport when he's at camp. Draw the top 3 cards from the unused location deck and pick one to swap with the top card of the map deck. Return the remaining cards to the bottom of the unused location deck. This is how we manipulate our way through the locations in order to have easier ones, or better ones that are better suited for us. So what do we got? We got cleave. It's passive. If you defeat a creature with a die, there is a remainder. You may keep that die at the remaining value. Nice. Okay. So we get to spill the damage over. We're going to cleave, right? And then we got Giant's Bane. All adventures dice assigned to creatures with 10 or greater health are doubled at the end of the round. That's pretty good. And then, let's see, one more. It's going to come in exhausted. We got Berserker. Defeat a revealed creature of lesser health adjacent to a creature that you just defeated. And that's going to come in exhausted. And then his other 2 abilities, Wound and Throw Axe, are going over there. Okay, that is our setup for our characters. And that's really it. Now all we have to do is get started. Here we are at a crackling campfire. We got everything ready to rock. And this is how the turns go. So let's take a look real quick. First, we reveal the next location, so we're going to do that. Now, in this one, we're not going to adjust our fire by this location. We're just going to have it at 8, where it starts, or 7 rather. We're going to be in the Elven Grove. It says camp actions will take any value die. Well, that means instead of needing a 6 to heal or a 4+ to check map, we can do anything. And this one means these arrows mean you always have to put a greater die. I wonder if that avoids this too. But we're gonna have to deal with 7 monsters this round. Okay, that's the first thing that happens. Then it says adjust the firewood by the value shown on the location card. We will do that in every other location except for this one. This one just starts off like that. And then we're going to roll our dice. That means all the characters are going to roll their dice. So I'm just going to roll them here and get them on their characters, because we get to roll them before we decide, which I think I just found out before we decide who's going to camp or go to the camp this time and not be on watch. So let's see. Come on now. Big numbers. That's pretty good for the wizard. And then for the warrior, that's pretty good too. We got some good dice rolls going on here. There's a lot of thought that has to go in here because it's like a puzzle, right? So the next thing we do after that, and I'm not going to show you this every time, I'm just showing you this first time. Roll dice and pick who rests in camp. Well, I think we're going to know who it is for this first turn. It's going to be the cleric because he rolled rather poorly. And the fact that we're in the Elven Grove helps us a lot. Now these 2 1s are important too because he rolled doubles. Now I'll show you what that means to us when we look at the camp actions. We're going to do that. We're going to look at them in detail this first time around and see what happens. So he's going to camp. So what's the first thing that happens? The resting player refreshes a card and takes camp actions. So we're going to refresh this protective ward automatically. So it's just because he is the one that's going to be in camp. We also then take a token, a camp token. There's one for each to show that this person has taken his camp action, for his first camp action. Now here's the deal. Everybody has to take 2 camp actions. There's 9 turns, which means somebody can double. We all have to take them. We can take them in whatever order we want as long as everybody takes 2. Otherwise we lose. So, and you don't lose. You just make sure you do it. Anyway, that's his first camp action. So let's go to the camp board now and see what we can do with him. The rest of the characters are getting ready to defeat the horde. Our cleric is going to be at camp and getting things set up for us. On the back of the character sheet, it talks quite a bit about all the stuff that you can do right here. And let me just back this up a little bit. Now, so what can we do? We can chop wood. That's here. We can put a die there. It doesn't matter what die it is. And we're going to get 2 wood and be able to increase the size of our fire. We can do that as many times, 3 times. We can do all our dice that way if we want. We can scout ahead. It says there's 3 placements for that. But each die, normally, except for in this Elven Grove, have to be greater than next because it doesn't matter what die value we put there right now. But what we do when we do that, when we scout ahead, is we draw and look at the top 2 creature cards. We get to place them on top or bottom, however we want to. And we can return either one to the top or the bottom. Now, of course, if we turn them both to the bottom, then we don't know what's coming at us. But if they're particularly nasty, that might not be such a bad thing. Okay, then we're going to check the map. We can do that one as well. Now, normally that requires a die of 4+, but not this turn. Okay, if we check the map, draw the top card of the map deck and the top card from the unused location deck and pick one to return to the top of the map deck. Gives us some flexibility. Okay, heal. 1 placement. Now we can, normally it requires a 6 Not a 5, not a 7, a 6. It has to be a 6. So we put a 6 there. We can heal, immediately refresh one exhausted adventurer card for yourself or any other adventurer on watch. Pretty powerful. And then we have this spot here, equip. One placement. Swap an adventurer card on your player board with one of the unused adventurer cards. So if you don't like the power set you got, you can manipulate them. Now we're going to talk about the runes. Now, we'll take this top card here and just show you. There are runes here that say Vanquish, Bolster, Seal. So we can apply, if we have doubles or triples, we can apply those dice to these things here. And it says one placement. Now again, I don't know how that affects camp actions. We'll take any die value, but we're just going to say, I think you got to have doubles for this. Seal, it says one placement. Remove an unhallowed from the graveyard and place it at the bottom of the unhallowed deck. That's pretty cool. Vanquish, one placement. Remove the top creature of the horde from the game. That means it's gone. That's pretty awesome if we got a nasty one. Okay, from the horde, that's the one that's in there. So right now that would be an unhallowed. That would not be a bad idea. And then bolster one, place all adventurers on watch may choose to reroll any number of dice. Now here's the thing. This particular turn, we're going to put that back because those are always available to us. This particular turn, we didn't have bad dice rolls. So I don't know if I don't think bolster is going to be that valuable. We're at the beginning of the turn. I can always vanquish that card. I don't think I'm going to do any of that, the runes this time around. But we do have to spend the cleric's dice. What has he got? That's what he's got. Okay, he's got a 1, a 1, and a 4. So like I said, we have doubles, which allows us to use those. And we can use them. I just don't know how valuable, especially in this magical turn where we get to do what we want, right? Because I'm thinking that we are going to do this. Now, the cleric also has the heal ability. It says refresh one exhausted adventure card with any die that is a 4 or better. Well, we don't have to worry about that, right? Yeah, we don't have to worry about that at all because we have these dice here. Now, it says any die. That means anybody else's die, too. That's some cool abilities that he's got. Okay, so, but we're not going to use that. We are definitely going to, I think we're definitely going to do this. We're going to chop firewood because once we get up to, now right now that 2 means that when we reveal our enemy deck, we're going to be seeing 2 of the first 2 cards in that row, and they're going to start from this deck here and go across. We're going to see the monsters, okay? And we do them in the order they come out from here. So this will be position 1. This will be the end of the starting position, or first position. Last position will be over here. Okay, then I think what we're going to do, I like the idea of checking the map, making sure we end up in a good position next turn, but I really like the idea of getting some cool additional abilities. So I think we're going to do this because we can. We're going to put that there. Now remember, the cleric's ability is to use a 4 or better, because normally you have to use a 6 specifically, but we can do that this turn because of the Elven Grove. I'm pretty sure we're going to do this. We're going to take this and turn over the Wizard's Shock Bolt. It's pretty powerful. We're going to unexhaust that, and then we're going to go back to the board. I have one more die. I can either check the map or scout ahead. Now, do I want to set us up for against good? Make sure we possibly get rid of a really bad baddie right here. Or do I want to check to see what the next location is? I think we're going to scout ahead. So the cleric is going to go up and he's going to sneak and scout and see what these top 2 creatures are. Now remember, we get to place them on the top or the bottom of the deck. The Treant and the Metal Golem. So the Metal Golem is kind of nasty, but I kind of like the Treant because when we defeat him, he's an 8. So again, the Wizard's Shock Bolt can just take him right down. I think we're going to put him on top. We're going to take this Golem and slap him on the bottom. I think that's a good place to go. Because the Golem stops you from hurting things further down the line, and he'd be second place. We got 7 cards out. Okay, those are our camp actions, guys. So that's really it. Now we're going to go on to the next step, which is we've done all of this stuff right here. Then we're going to go to the watch phase. So we're going to reveal creatures based on the campfire level. Well, we're not going to do that right away. We're going to draw them first. And to do that, we're going to lay out 7 cards. So we're going to go 1. Now we know what this one is. This is the Treant. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have to move the warrior down just a little bit. 6. Oh, I'm going to have to move him down a little bit more even. Warrior, you're in the way, buddy. All right, there we go. And 7. So we have a line of 7 cards. And now, how do I know it's 7? Because of this, right? This tells us how many beasties are going to come at us during the watch phase of this turn. And we're going to get to reveal, because our campfire is at 9, we're going to get to reveal the first 2 creatures in the line. So what do we got first? Well, we know it's the Treant. He's going to do us 1 damage, which means we're going to exhaust 1 card. on anybody, any of the people on Watch's mat, not the cleric, he's at camp. If he is in the line when we run out of things we can do. If he's still there, then he does this damage. He takes 8 points of damage, and when we defeat him, our fire goes up by 2. He's a fire earth elemental. Okay, then the next one, this is the only one we're going to get to reveal right now, is this guy, a Fae, or girl. Again, does 1 damage, only has 5 hit points, but if she makes it to the first position, meaning the front of the line, she's going to reduce our fire by 1. So I think we want to get rid of her next. Now, how do we attack? Well, there's 2 types of characters, and I just realized that almost all my characters have range, except for the warrior who's in the front. The cleric, the Beastmaster, and the wizard are all ranged. So this shows that they're ranged characters. That means they can attack a monster in the first or second position. A melee character like the warrior can only attack the first position unless using a special ability. Now, we can do several things with our dice. Now, obviously, the cleric's out of the running, but the Beastmaster's still there. The Beastmaster you can just take a die and apply it directly to damage. Like, I can take this 4, it's pretty dark. I might change out. No, I can't. They're all dark. That's a 4 for the Beastmaster. I can literally apply that to one of these 2 creatures. He's ranged, so he can attack either one. So like I could apply 4 immediately to her and kill her, or this 5, which might not be a bad idea. I'm going to stop and think for a moment about what we're going to do, because we would love to see some more creatures. We don't have any abilities to do that right now, so we're going to have to take some down. And this is like a big giant puzzle as we puzzle out how we're going to use our characters most effectively to empty this line out before it does damage to us. And you know, where they're positioned and everything makes a difference. So got to be very strategic about it and see what we can do. Actually, I think I'm going to do what we said. I'm going to take this 5. I'm going to slot this 5 for the Beastmaster, and I'm going to kill the Fae before it gets to the second part of the line. So we're going to use this die as direct attack. That means I just put it on his board up there, right there, and this one, it goes into the graveyard, which I'll put right up on top there. And then this will slide down. It will reveal the next monster. It is another Fae. Well, we want to get rid of her too, but she's got 6 hit. Going too far. Sorry, guys. Pay not attention. I didn't see it, so I don't know what it was. Anyway, we're going to have to get rid of this one too, but she's got 6 health. So what do we want to do with her? Well, remember, we can't use the cleric. His dice have all been used. And we don't have anything that's an animal or anything that the Beastmaster can really do. So I think, let's look at our other characters. We have the wizard who can polymorph. We got the Chaos Blast and the Shock Bolt. I'm saving the Shock Bolt to use the 2 to just take this guy down, because it'll give it 8. We can't just apply a die from the warrior. I think that's what we're going to do here. We'll just take this 6. I'm going to put these not on the top of their board because they're not used yet. We're going to take the 6, put it right there, and just attack the Fae. So that means that we're going to kill but he can't do that. He can only attack into the first position. So how are we going to get her without getting him first? Well, we can do a couple things. Let's see. Put a revealed creature back on the top of the creature deck. We could do that. I mean, that doesn't hurt us. We could put the Fae. So that's the powers of the characters don't require that you use a specific die number unless it says so, and I don't believe any of them say so. But what we could do, there's several things. I think we're going to do that. We're going to take this 2. This is a really bad die, and we're going to place it on the set snares. Put a revealed creature back on top of the creature deck. Okay, fine. Let's do that. That means that Fae is gone, and we're going to bring this back down and flip it. Oh no, that's a bad one. That's an Ember Drake. Well, I'm glad that happened. But if this Ember Drake, man, we're getting all these things where if it gets in the first position, we're in trouble. And that's an 11. So that is really, really bad, right? Well, here's what we can do. I don't know. This isn't... yeah, we could... Those 2 front... I don't want to lose the Treant. It actually gives us a benefit if we defeat it. I'm trying to think if I could use the, if I polymorph, I'm going to bring back a Fae, which reduces our fire by 1 as well, which I was trying not to do, but the Fae is a heck of a lot easier to kill, because if I polymorph, I swap out a creature from one other in the graveyard. The only one in the graveyard is the first weaker Fae that we fought. So I could do that. I could use that 4, or that 2 rather, the 2 probably, and get rid of the Ember Drake, or, yeah, I'm not sure what to do there yet. Well, let's see. The warrior can't get to second range yet. I really was saving him to beat down the Treant, because he can. And the sad thing is I don't want that Drake getting to first position, where his Giant's Bane ability would be beneficial. But I do have tracking. Now, that's not going to help at all. Okay, I think that's what we're going to do, guys. I know this sounds odd because I just defeated that thing and put one on the top of the deck. But we're going to take this 2. We're going to play it on Polymorph, which means I'm going to swap this Ember Drake, put the Ember Drake into the graveyard, and put this Fae back. I know, but this is the puzzle we have to solve, right? Now, we have to get 5 points on this one. And I see a couple ways we can possibly do that. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it with 1 die. This is getting kind of tight for us, right? So I think what we're going to do is the Beastmaster's abilities really aren't helping us. So we're going to spend this 4 on the Fae right here. That means it only needs 1, right? Now, then I think what we're going to do, this will be overkill, but this might be the only way to get this done. I'm going to take that back. We're not going to use this 4 quite yet. We're going to use this 6 from the wizard. He's going to blast her away and just kill her out of the line. So we polymorphed the Drake into the Fae and then blasted the Fae to oblivion, which moves this up, and we get to see what's next. Another Ember Drake, a stronger one even. That is fantastic. Oh, what am I doing that for? I keep doing that. I gotta stop that. Okay, sorry. Sorry, guys. It's only these 2. Okay. Wow, this is killing us, guys. Killing us. Okay, I think what we're gonna do then. See, I don't want to. Look, we're going to end up with a deficit of 1 on the fire. I've been trying really hard to keep our fire up, and it's just the game seems to not want to allow us to do that. What do I have? I have Chaos Blast. I could defeat 2 revealed creatures, adjacent creatures, and add 1 new creature. Let's do that. Let's do that. I know this is going to give us a benefit, but this is not working out for us. So our mighty wizard is going to use this Chaos Blast. It says defeat 2 revealed adjacent creatures and add a new creature to the end of the line. So we're going to do that. Bloosh. Okay, so we get rid of, fortunately, both these guys. And I really was hoping to defeat him. And then we're going to take these 2 down and reveal them. So we know it's a bandit. In the first position, the bandit steals 1 available die. Oh my gosh, that's awful. Because we're going to have also a bear. Oh, that's not too bad. Unfortunately, I still have, fortunately rather, I still have a die from the Beastmaster. And then we're going to have, oh, sorry, I'm going to just, let's do this one more time. Okay, sorry, I keep revealing the cards. I got to get used to not doing that. Then we have 1 Peer at the end there. Okay, now what can we do? Well, I'm not worried. So the bandit's going to steal a die. He's going to steal the 3 from the warrior, I think, because that's, only the warrior and the Beastmaster have dice left. So he steals the 3, and he's in the first position. Okay, he needs a 7. So I think what we'll do here, I've already used all the dice from the wizard. I can't do anything there. So we're going to attack with the warrior. I don't know there was much I could have done to prevent myself from taking damage. I'm sure all of you will tell me how I screwed this up. But anyway, I'm going to place this 7 in a direct attack on the bandit, which means I'll just place this in the use pile here, and we will kill the bandit. Okay, he goes into the discard pile. And we are down to 2 creatures left. We're going to reveal this one. It is a vampire. They suck, by the way. Steal the high... Oh, no. That's the only die we have left. Well, this is a passive. It says once per round you may tame a forest creature in the first position. So we're going to get to do that. I think passives do not require a power. Okay, let me just look at this. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I'm just going to look at the abilities. Let's see, passive, passive, passive. Passive adventure abilities do not require a die to activate. So here's what we're going to do. So this is reveal. Steal the highest die from the available. Highest die available. It becomes this card's base health. So it's going to be 4. So the vampire has a 4 health. He's not very powerful, but I really can't do anything about him unless I exhaust. Well, I can actually. I can. And I think I'm going to be able to blast this guy out of oblivion. I'll show you how. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use the tracking ability of the Beastmaster. It does not require a die. It says once per round you may tame a forest creature in the first position. And what does tame mean? So I'll just read that to you so you can understand what it does. Tame is a pretty cool ability. It says taming a creature refers to removing the creature from the line and adding it to your play area for later use as an attack die. So we're going to get this bear as its value as an attack die. So right now it's a 5, and it is going to be tamed. The Beastmaster can have 2 maximum of 2 tamed creatures. He's got a tamed bear. That puts the vampire in the first position. Now, we could quit, and 2 things happen. One, we're going to take this damage. So I'm going to take a damage. That means if I have the ability to kill it, I might as well, right? Because I'm going to exhaust an ability anyway, and I already know which one. Then it would go to the horde. Now we don't want that to happen, right? We don't want the vampire in the horde. So the wizard is going to use he's going to exhaust with no die use his shock bolt. We can do that. Defeat a creature of 8 value or less. You know what? I saw this in the demos of this game before it was released, where you could exhaust a card without putting a die on it to use its ability. But that's not the way it reads in the manual. So I just want to check this with you guys. I'm going to read it. Again, this is kind of a blind playthrough. So it says ability cards. Alternatively, players can spend and place a die on an unexhausted ability card to activate it. This can only be done once per card per round. Most adventurers' ability cards may be exhausted for another use after a die has been spent on them. Passive abilities are the exception and do not require a die to activate. Well, we knew that. Passive abilities are active as long as they remain face up. So it doesn't tell me I can do that without. It says exhaust to use it again if you placed a die on it. I did not place a die on that ability. So I'm going to say that for the sake of this playthrough that we cannot do that because it doesn't actually say that in the rules. I'm going to look through the rules elsewhere and see if we can, which means that we are going to take a point of damage. Now I cannot take a point of damage from the cleric who is in the camp. We're going to have to take it from one of the other characters, which is going to be the wizard. He's the only one with 3 open. So we're going to take one of his abilities away. And while Shock Bolt is very cool, we're going to exhaust that, and then the vampire, unfortunately, is going to go into the horde. Now we have a reason to destroy the horde for sure. And that is going to be the end of the round. That's pretty cool, right? That ends the round, and what do we do at the end of the round? Well, it says add any creatures that were not defeated to the horde. We just did that by triggering one by one, triggering any relevant powers. There weren't any. Adventurers on watch exhaust cards as a party based on their damage. We've done all that. Then we go back around to a new turn. In that new turn, we're going to get his dice back, and then we're going to start the new round by revealing the next location. What is it going to be? The Haunted Manor. We're going to get +2 to the fire. That's awesome. So it's going to go up to 11. That worked out for us. We're going to fight 6 monsters, and it says the adventurer who rests in camp does not refresh an ability card. That bites. Well, we don't know who's going to rest yet, so it may not matter. But we know it's not going to be the cleric, because we don't want to rest him twice now, because he won't be able to rest again later if he needs to. So let's roll our dice now that we've revealed the location and see what's going to happen. So I'm going to roll these, see what we get. We get a 4, 5, and 6 from the Beastmaster. It's pretty good. And then from the cleric, we're taking him no matter what. A 1, 2, 5, not so great. And then, apologies for the glare, guys, but we're going to roll these 3 here. So we get there a 4, 6, 2 for the wizard, and for the warrior, a 5, 8, 4. Wow, these are pretty good rolls. I'm not sure who to take. Theoretically, I want to put the cleric back in there, but I can't. Who's going to man the camp this turn? We're not going to get a card back. I guess it'll be the wizard, because he has a 6 and I can heal that card. I really want his shock bolt up. So we're going to do that. It's going to be the wizard. He's going to be the next one to camp. Now remember, I could camp the cleric right now, but then I won't be able to do it again later. So he's going to take the number 1. These are 2-sided. One says 1, one says 2. So he is now camped once. And we're going to take the camp actions with the wizard. Now, one of the things that I think we're definitely going to do is we're going to take this 2 and we're going to get some firewood. Now, every time you put one in there, it's worth 2 points unless you're using the warrior. He has a special ability to go up by 4. So that's going to put it up by 2, which means we're going to remove this token here and we're going to go here. We now have 3. We can reveal 3 monsters in the fire. That's pretty good. Now we have a 6 and a 4 left. So I can check the map, I can scout ahead, or I can heal. I cannot use any of these because we didn't have doubles. We're going to take the 6 and put it right there because I am going to unexhaust his ability. Now I could also flop one out. We got Curse, defeat a creature that already has an attack die assigned to it. That's pretty good because I can assign a 1 to the toughest creature there and then kill it with a Curse. Or Illuminate, passive, for every firewood you spend, you may reveal the next creature in line. Nah, I don't like that one so much. I like what he's got. I'm going to leave it alone. I think we will take advantage of checking the map since we have a 4. And so what we're going to do there is we're going to draw the top card from here. And we're going to draw the top location of this deck here and see what we get. We're going to keep one of them, put the other one back at the bottom of the location deck. So, Mountain Keep and Tranquil Village. Ooh, I think we already know what we're going to do here. An adventurer on watch with a total Die roll less than 6 may refresh a card. That means 2 cards. I think let's do this one. The highest health creature from the graveyard face down. Oh, we're going to get rid of this one. The Tranquil Village is going to be here, so we know that that is upcoming because we've checked ahead. We've watched our map. We've checked ahead, and I believe when you do that, if I'm not mistaken, let's see, what do you do? It doesn't say in the... What happens after you do that ability? Do you put the card... do you put the card back under the deck or not? I'm trying to remember. Let's see. The remaining card goes to the bottom of the unused location deck. Yeah. Okay. So the Mountain Keep will go at the bottom of the unused location deck, which means it's highly unlikely that it will appear. Okay, but we know we're set up good, and that is our camp action. We're really in a good place right now. So the next thing we do is we reveal our monsters. We know that we're going to have 6 of them. So 1, not going to reveal any of them yet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because our fire's so high, we're going to get to reveal the first 3. So we got a wolf. Okay, we can tame the wolf as a passive. That's pretty good. We've got a summon. Oh, immediately exhaust an adventure card. Then place this card with the top card from the unhallowed deck. Put this card in the graveyard. So we're going to do that. So we know that the second creature is going to be the Wraithlord. When he's defeated, we're going to exhaust a card. And we're just going to exhaust all kinds of crazy things. What do I want to do with this? You know, this protective ward from the cleric might be the one that goes. Once per round, let a creature in the first position into the horde without taking damage. Yeah, we're going to exhaust. So when the Wraithlord came out from the summons card, we have to exhaust an ability. We're going to exhaust this one for the cleric, even though he just got it back. And then we're going to reveal the next one. So we already got our summon card out. And a bear. So, okay, we can live with this. Alright, well, so the first thing we're going to do, because when we defeat him, we're going to exhaust a card as well. So we're going to use our tracking ability from the... we get to start taking our actions now. First thing we're going to do is use the tracking ability from the Beastmaster. It says once per round you may tame a forest creature in the first position. This is a forest creature like the bear. So now we have 2 critters that can fight for him, and these guys go into the first position there, and this one reveals the Metal Golem. Now he kind of sucks. So he's going to do 2 damage just like this guy. They got a lot of health too. It says no direct attacks can be assigned to creatures in the line behind the Metal Golem. So we can't do any damage until he's defeated. But we haven't used any dice yet either. So here's what we can do. Let me see how we can. I'm going to talk about using this tamed ability here. Let me think about this. Okay, I figured out what we're going to do with this Wraith. We're going to get him. We're going to use our Giant's Bane ability. Check this out. All adventurers' dice assigned to creatures with 10 or greater health are doubled until the end of the round. So we're going to start by, let's move this out of the way, by assigning this 8 to the Wraithlord. He has a health of 12, so that means we're just assigned 16 points of damage to him, and we have this passive of Cleave. So he's going to the Wraith is going to take 12, and there's going to be spillover of 4 more points. Let's see how that plays out. I mean, pretty effectively, right? So we killed him. Boom. Now we're going to have to exhaust a power, and then we killed him. That's pretty good, right? So because that's going to be a total of 16 points. So this guy goes to the graveyard. However, we have to exhaust an ability card. And I think I know what I'll do with that. Yeah, I mean we're going to exhaust. I think we're going to exhaust the Giant's Bane actually, because I think we can do more with the rest of it. Well, we don't need the tracking right now. Let's do this. I'm going to exhaust the tracking ability right here, because we don't need to tame anything right now, and I just killed the bear that was still in the pile. So let's move on to the next set of creatures. Now, being that our fire is at 3, all the rest of the remaining creatures are going to get revealed. So we've got a Shade. That's a Shadow Elemental. Ongoing, Shade's base health is equal to 16 minus the current firewood value. Wow, that means he's really weak, because the current firewood value is a 11, 12, 13, so he's a 3. And then this Treant, we can get some more fire out of this. We're going to max that fire out. Okay, but remember, we have to kill the Golem first. That is absolutely critical. So, how do we do that? Well, we can... now remember the Wizards at Camp, we can't do anything with him. We have used the... oh yeah, I had to assign a die. I would have assigned this 4 to the Giant's Bane ability. We had to assign the 4 to the Giant's Bane ability to make that happen. So he's got a 5 left. We need 8 to kill the Golem. Here's what we can do. Yeah, here's what we can do. We're going to have the bear attack the Golem for 5. That leaves the Golem with 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we will take a die from the warrior. Boom. That's going to be a 5. We're just going to attack the Golem with a 5. Now that means that we're going to have 2 points that spill over to this guy. He's got a 3. These 2 go into the discard pile. Now he's got a 3, and then we got the Treant at the end of the line, which we can take out somehow, I hope. Yeah, because the Beastmaster hasn't used any of his dice yet, so we're good. We have 3 points left on him. I think the Beastmaster will keep his wolf since we messed with his tracking ability. He'll just attack the Shade with the 4 that he's got. And then he has the ability to kill the Golem outright. So we attack the Shade. It's only got a 3, right? So boom, it's gone. And then all we have left, this is going to be a great round for us. All we have left is the Treant to kill. And let's see, what dice do we have left? I have no dice left except for, well, I have all the Cleric's dice left, don't I? Oh, well, we killed him. So we got enough dice, so I can just apply. The Beastmaster can do him in all by himself. I didn't use any of the other abilities. That's pretty interesting. So, okay, so we used those 2. We just did damage and killed the Treant, which means our fire goes up 1, 2. It's maxed out right there. That's pretty awesome. Got some serious fire going on. No creatures went into the pool. We did lose some abilities. We're going to have somebody seriously rest up this turn. But we know we got a good card coming next turn, too. So, let's do one more round, and then we'll call it a night, and I'll come back to the game. We'll talk about it and see what's going on. All right, so we're going to reset for the round. Now, what's the first thing that we do? Well, we reveal our location, right? So let's do that. We know it's going to be the Tranquil Village. We don't lose any fire. That's awesome. And then it's got 6 monsters. It says any adventurer on watch with a total die roll less than 6 may refresh any card. So that's going to be good. That means on watch, not in camp. So let's go roll our dice. It's intriguing that the only thing the Cleric did was absorb some damage that round. He used none of his dice to do anything. Okay, anyway. Ooh, great die. Oh, great roll for the Cleric. Let's see what we get for the Beastmaster. Oh, man, pretty good roll for the Beastmaster, too, with an 8, 1, and a 4. Then we got the Wizard. What's the Wizard going to do? 4, 4, 3. Not bad. All his abilities are live. And then we got the Warrior. What do we got with the Warrior? A 1, 2, 7. I think we know who's going to camp. Because that's probably the worst of the rolls. Now, nobody has less than a 6, so that special ability from the Tranquil Village isn't going to help. But I do believe we'll send the Warrior back to camp. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll send the Warrior back to camp. Okay, so Warrior goes to camp. We're going to take his 3 dice, and we're going to put them in the camp area so we can use them. That means we get to take this token and put it on the Warrior. Make sure it's on the one side. Boom, there we go. And we're going to automatically get the Berserker ability up. You know, we're probably going to get to throw an axe in there because I'm getting tired of him not being able to attack anything. Okay. Anyway, that's going to be it for that. And we're going to go... So he went to camp. He rested, got the Berserk ability back. Let's go do his actions now. Well, we don't need any fire. We're maxed out on the fire. So what we're going to do... What are we going to do? Let's see. We're going to first... we're going to spend one of his dice to equip. I'm going to flop out... I think I'm going to flop out the Berserker, actually. I'm going to take that and I'm going to put Throw Axe in there so we can attack a creature in the second rank with an 8-point hit. That means I can use a really low die like that 1, for instance, if he was on watch, to do 8 points for of die value of 1. That's pretty good. Then we're going to take the 7, and I think we're going to scout ahead. So we're going to, take the top card of the location deck and the top card of the rest of the locations and see what we get. We got the Barren Plains, reduce the firewood by half rounded down. That one's going. I don't care what the other one is. Oh, look at this. The Long Road, no passive adventure abilities may be used this round. That's not good because some of our best abilities are passive, but that's way better than this Barren Plains. We don't want to drop by half. What would that put us at? Let me see. We're at 16. We go down to 8. Well, is that so bad? Right. Not so bad. Because this isn't going to really help us. Yeah, I think we're actually going to take that. right now. We'll drop by half. That means we just revealed 2 creatures, but we could build it to firewood later. But we're only going to fight 6 things, and we can still use our passive abilities. So this one's going to go on top, and the long road is going to go on the bottom of the other deck. And again, this is the type of decision making that you have to make when you're playing, and that basically uses, we have 1 more die left. We might as well use it to scout ahead. That's really all we can do with it. And we're going to draw the top 2 creature cards and see if we want to put them on the bottom of the top. Wow, these guys aren't that bad. The giant has ongoing. Giant's health is always added to the creature's base health behind it. Well, we could put it in order so it's not that bad. It'd be a 7, 8, 9, 10. Have him in the first position. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to leave them both on top. Now we know what we're doing. Okay, that's the end of the camp actions, so let's draw our monsters out. We know what the first 2 are going to be. Okay, so we got 1, 2, it's going to be 6, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to reveal the first 3 because our fire is maxed out. We know that's a forest giant first, followed by this eagle, followed by an acolyte. What's the acolyte? Reveal. Draw a card and add it to the horde. Draw a creature card and add it to the horde. Boom. He's going to go to the horde. That's 3 cards in the horde. We got to do something about that. Then it says first position, reshuffle, and a summon card. Ooh, he needs to die. That is for sure. I think we know what we're going to do there because he's a 7. We're going to kill him outright as fast as we can. Okay. All right. Well, let's get on with that. What was the? You know, I didn't check to see the warriors. Oh man, well it didn't matter. The warrior has the ability to increase the firewood by 4, but we just didn't need that. We've managed to max out our fire. Obviously, it's not going to last. We know that next turn it's going to go down to 8. Then we got to keep it going up again. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we got revealed the first 3 monsters. Now we're going into an attack. I think that the easiest thing to do, we got a couple things. We got the cleric's got some big dice. He says remove a revealed creature back to a different position in the line, or defeat an undead in the first position. He's also got blinding light, reveal up to 2 creatures, negate any reveal abilities. That might be worth it. We can get this stuff out of the way. Yeah, let's do that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spend this 4 here on the cleric's blinding light ability. The other 2 are 6s. We're going to keep them around. It says reveal up to 2 creatures, negate any reveal abilities. That's awesome. So we're going to reveal these 2. Ongoing Fire Serpent. The Fire Serpent's base health is equal to the current... Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad we knew that because now we're going to have to kill that thing. And the Shade. Ongoing, the Shade's base health is equal to 16 minus the current firewood. So it's 0. Because we're at 16. So this thing's weak. This thing's tough. We're going to have to get rid of that Fire Serpent too before it gets... It doesn't matter if it gets to the front of the line or not. It's just tough. Okay, so we have all of our creatures revealed. That's good. Now, let's... I could put that acolyte back, or the Fire Serpent back on the top of the creature deck. That means we'd have to deal with it next turn. But, let's see. Can we do something even better? I think that we can. I think that we can. The Treant is currently... It says... we can... Okay, here's what we're going to do. The wizard is going to use a 3 to defeat a creature with 8 or less health. And we're going to... It doesn't say what position. Just says defeat a creature. So I think that we can do that. We're going to defeat this acolyte immediately. Get him off the board. He is done. And then we're going to spend a 4 on this polymorph. Swap out a creature for any other creature in the graveyard. Fire Serpent. We are going to take the Fire Serpent and we're going to swap it out with any other creature in the graveyard, which is going to be the weakest thing we can possibly find. I think it's going to be a bear. Yeah? Yeah. No, the eagle's outer still. So we're going to do the... Yeah. Well, actually, I could do him to the Shade. Yeah, it'll be the Shade. Boom. Okay. Took him out of the graveyard. So we polymorphed the Fire Serpent into a Shade. Pretty good. Now we got 4 creatures left to deal with. I mean, we're having a good run of this. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but I don't think I am. I mean, we got some people with some... I mean, 2 of the characters have some abilities that are spent, but that's okay. Like, I'd love to have the tracking up because I could pull in another creature. That'd be nice. Put a revealed creature back on the top of the deck. We could do that. We've used 2 of the wizard's abilities. I don't think we need to use any more right now. Yeah, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We got lots of dice left. We need to beat this guy. His health is right now 7, 8, 9, 10. So, what can we do to defeat him? Well, here's what we can do. The Beastmaster is going to attack the Force Giant with a wolf. That's 5. That leaves him with a 3. And then we're going to use a 4 from the Beastmaster as well. It's overkill, but then we'll take out this giant with that dice. So we're going to take that 4 and exhaust it. We attacked it, well, not exhaust it, but burn it. We used it to attack the giant. I'm trying to get it on the 4 there. There we go. So this giant is gone. Okay, and then we move this up. Now, I think we just got this. This is going to be super easy to do because we still have a 4 from the wizard. The wizard will attack. Remember, all these guys are ranged, so we can attack into the second position. We'll attack this eagle with his 4. We'll burn that. We'll just attack directly. That goes into the graveyard. Then we have these 2 shades who are at 0s. So any die we spend, boom, boom, there we go. We just killed them. And that wiped out the army that we were facing right there. That was pretty darn good. Could have been worse. Now don't forget, we do have 3 creatures in the horde, and one of them is a big baddie. So that is not a great thing. However, we did end that turn. So we're going to clean up, basically, reveal the next card, and then we're going to call it a night for this episode. So, guys, here we go. We're going to reveal this and see what we get. We know it's going to be the Barren Plains because we already looked at it. We're going to pop that up there, and we know that we're going to drop our fire in half. We're at 16. Oh, wait, 15. I'm sorry. Those shades had 1 health. So we're going to drop it back down to a 7, which means we're going to go down to here. No, wait, 2. We can reveal 2 cards, right? That's what this says. Yeah, okay, 7. Reveal 2 cards. Not great, but that's not the end of the world. So that is the worst thing that happened to us. Now we're going to roll our dice next, but we're going to do that in the next episode. We're going to start the next episode by rolling our dice and taking our turns. All but the Beastmaster has taken a camp action, so he may be the next one. We'll see. He may not be. We're halfway through we're almost halfway through the adventure, and right now we're venturing onto the Barren Plains. I have a feeling, I know that things are going to turn south for us. We've had some really good luck. We have some pretty powerful abilities. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Tell me if I made any mistakes. I basically all I did was read the rules, watch a couple of the old beta playthroughs of this, and then got going. So if I made a mistake, let me know, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Take care, and I'll see you soon.